Types of slope homework. Identify the slope as positive, negative, 0, or undefined from each graph. So in these blanks right here next to the number 1, 2, and 3 is where we're going to be writing positive, negative, or 0. And then at the bottom we need to write our parallel line and we need to write perpendicular line. Let's start by looking at number 1. This line here is completely flat. It has a 0 slope. And now we need to write the equation of this line. And usually we use y equals mx plus b. And we're going to notice that right here, where the line is crossing, is at a positive 1 for our intercept. The slope we said was 0, so we don't need to write the 0 right there. We can just have y equals positive 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and write our equation. Y equals 1. Now my parallel line, let's make that purple, is any line that is parallel. It could be any of these lines you see here. We just need to pick one, decide which one we like best, and use that as our parallel line. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this parallel line right here. And I'm going to see that it crosses at negative 2, so my parallel line is y equals negative 2. For my perpendicular line, we'll use blue. And we have to remember that our red line is the original, so perpendicular to the red original line is any line that makes that 90-degree angle. I'm going to go ahead and pick this line right here. That line, straight up and down, is going to be x equals 3. So here's my blue line, which is perpendicular, my purple line, which is parallel. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. So first thing we're going to do is write if it's a positive, negative, 0, or undefined slope. When I look at my rise over run, if I connect my 2 points, there's a few different ways to look at it. So here I'm going up, which is positive, and I'm going to the right, which is also positive. So positive times positive is a positive slope. Another way that you could do it is just by looking at the top half of the graph, which is this part right here, the top half, and look to see which way the arrow is pointing. It's pointing towards the positive numbers. Either way, you can see if your line is positive or negative. Okay, so now we've identified our original line. We're going to say that that line is purple, and we need to write our equation first. We're going to use the form y equals mx plus b. We're going to see that right here, our y-intercept is negative 2. Our y-intercept is negative 2, and we're going to take a look at our slope. We're going to find slope by using rise over run. My rise up is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the run across, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go ahead and input that positive 5 over 4 right here and add my x. This right here is the equation to this original purple line that we have. Okay, so now we have our positive slope and our equation identified. Let's go ahead and try to find a parallel line. Any of these lines right here, since they have the same slope, are going to be parallel to that purple line. We just need to pick one, use the same slope, and find out our new y-intercept. I'm going to go ahead and pick a nice y-intercept and go with that one right there. And as long as we have the same slope, it's parallel. So we're going to have y equals, same slope from right here, 5 over 4x, and my new intercept is positive 2. Okay, so let's look at our original purple line. Now we need to find a perpendicular line to that one. So we're going to use green. Perpendicular makes a 90 degrees, so any of these lines here could be perpendicular to that line. We just need to pick one and find the new y-intercept. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pick this line right here, draw it out, and that makes a nice 90-degree line. So what we need to do now is switch our slope. So my original slope, my original m, is 5 over 4, and my new one for a perpendicular line is the opposite reciprocal. So I'm going to take the opposite. This one's positive, so I'm going to take negative, and then I'm going to switch these two. 4 over 5. Now I can use this new slope to write my new perpendicular line. It's going to be y equals negative 4 over 5, and my intercept that I see right here is a positive 3. So here are both lines. So I have my purple line, which is the original, the blue one is parallel, and the green one is perpendicular. Okay, let's take a look at number 3. So at the top, we're going to write positive, negative, undefined, or zero slope. This line is straight up and down, which would make an undefined slope. And now we just need to find the equation to that line right here. And then we need to find a parallel and a perpendicular line. So this line, and I'm going to have to erase this right here because it's not going to start with a y. This line actually crosses the x-axis, and it never touches this y line right here. So we're going to have to say that this is an x equals. We can see that it crosses the positive 2 right here on the x line. So x equals 2. Now for my parallel line, any line straight up and down, just like that one, can be parallel. So I'm just going to pick one right here. That's going to be crossing on the 4. So the parallel line is going to be x equals 4. Again, you can pick any point, any line that is parallel, straight, vertical, up and down, but I just decided to pick 4. Now for perpendicular, we need a line that goes this way and makes a 90-degree angle. So I can pick any of those lines. I just need to pick one and write the equation. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this line right there. This one crosses the y-axis right at that point, and it never touches the x-axis. So this line is just going to be y equals negative 3.